Okay, let's give a couple more minutes. I think we had, last I looked, we had maybe about 30 folks who were going to join us. So we'll give baby folks just a couple more minutes. Jonathan Ballou, how are you? Give me a little note in the chat, as well as my friend September Ward. How are you guys? There's Lee is here. This down so we can see.
Oh,
Yay, yay. September, where are you?
she's with us.
Oh, yeah,
she's-
okay.
Well, and I don't know if she can unmute, but she's got a house up here, like really.
Okay,
And
well,
then dancing area. In September, I have to give a big shout out to, helped a lot with this presentation.
Oh,
she's student services with my tech. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, September.
Is everybody froze?
Oh, goodness. Did we just lose Mia?
It looks like we lost Mia and Maddie.
Sorry, guys, we got kicked off. Go to the next slide.
You did it.
Did it. So we want to say a big thank you to our friends at the Department of Energy, our two project officers, Derek Schroeder and Katie Kajewski, who make all of our work possible through our cooperative agreement. So thank you to DOE for today and for all that you do. Next slide. So our agenda today, we're going to celebrate Weatherization Day. It's our biggest day. We're going to I'm going to show you the team. You're going to meet the team throughout the presentation. We're going to look at the weatherization mission. And then we're all joining you from different parts of the country today. So we're going to be on location and the team's going to report in. And then Maddie's going to talk about Michigan's strategy for delivering trainings. And they've just launched a really cool box store rural training hub, actually more than one. And so she'll kind of share their journey to get there. And then I will have some closing remarks. So with that, I want to wish everyone a happy Weatherization Day. So we all know that October is Energy Efficiency Month. And today is the day that kind of culminates with the Weatherization program. NCAP this year launched a Energy Efficiency Month and Weatherization Day toolkit. And in that toolkit, we provided lots of templates and lots of messaging, lots of graphics. In addition to the faces of weatherization, Amy's going to talk to you about the voices of weatherization and our nationally sponsored local impact awards. So that is how we're celebrating today with all of you. Next slide. This is your NCAP Energy team. I am the director. I am based out of Michigan. You're going to hear from Keisha, who's our project director and heads up our weatherization workforce. Amy's probably, well, she is the most senior and legacy member here on the team. We've got Mitzi, Aderica, Kendra, Grace, and Haley. So your energy team here at NCAP, I think has grown by threefold since I arrived about a year ago. So we are definitely getting bigger and stronger each day here. Next slide. So the weatherization mission, I wanted to ground us in this today. We spend a lot of time focused on the measures, focused on the units, focused on production. But really the primary mission of weatherization, and remember, we were founded during the energy crisis of the late 70s by President Carter. And his primary goal and what we kind of come to the table with is more than measures. It is about mission and is about reducing energy costs and utility bills for our low-income residents and households. We aim to make homes more energy efficient while also ensuring the health and safety of residents. Weatherization is not a single measure. Weatherization is about the whole home, focusing on improving energy efficiency of the entire dwelling, the complete system, and not just disparate individual components. We want to save households money, and we want to help vulnerable populations like our seniors, disabled community, and children. So the work you do is vitally important. We are in the fight of our lives right now, probably in our program's history. This is a time where we all need to stand up. People need to know what we do, why it's important, that it is an investment in today that continues to pay dividends over many, many years. Once we weatherize a home, that home is good for about 15 years. And so when we think about how we're messaging and how we're talking in our communities, those are messages that you can feel very, very proud of delivering, that not only does weatherization have an immediate impact, but that impact will span families and generations. So well done. You are definitely heroes in our hearts. Now I'm going to turn it over to Keisha. Well, actually, first, we wanted to get kind of a feel for how you guys are feeling today. So in the chat, if you would type the word that best describes the emotion you are feeling coming to today's Weatherization Day gathering. I'm going to say, is that how you spell it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, actually, I just did it to the host and panelists, so I got to go everyone.
There you go.
What do you guys got? What's the word that best describes the emotion you're feeling being with us here today? Resilience. Grace, thank you. Brandon's
Aw.
feeling joyful. Determined. We have motivated. Keisha's feeling inspired and grateful. I'm not going to cry today. I promised myself. Bittersweet. We miss you too, John.
We miss you.
We miss you too, John. But you're still holding it down. It's not like you have left the network. We just don't get to see John as much. Adriana's intrigued. All right, well, keep those comments coming. And Keisha, I think I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mia. Well, hello, my name is Keisha Johnson, and I'm the project director for Weatherization Workforce Development here at NCAP, and I am coming to you from the Peach State, Georgia. And here I am with some Georgia folks. I'm here at the Clayton County Community Services Authority Community Action Center celebrating their Weatherization Day. I'm very grateful to have some heavy hitters with me. I'm going to introduce you to the Executive Director for NCAS, NASCAS, hard to say that, Miss Cheryl Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to be able to join you. I'm happy to see some familiar faces on the screen, and just I'm so glad to be in partnership with NCAP. We've worked long and hard with NCAP to pull together our Weatherization Day. in this year and in years past, and I'm just happy to be here in Georgia, in Clayton County Community Services, Community Services Authority, say that 5 times fast, and celebrating this day. It's been a fantastic day to be able to hear from providers, contractors, clients who are singing the praises of weatherization and on, providing an opportunity for us to see that weatherization actually really, truly, what we know, it works. So thank you for allowing me just a couple of seconds to say hello and to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. And so now I want to introduce to you also the Georgia State Office. And it is the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority. And I'm going to start with Ms. Laura.
Hi, everybody. This is Laura. We're here in Clayton County Community Action for Weatherization Day. And let me just tell you, they showed up, showed out. They had a fantastic day. We were so glad to be a part of this. But again, I just wanted to say hello and happy Weatherization Day. Happy Weatherization Day.
Those in the back. That's Anisha Maynor in the green. She's a project manager, and their monitor, Quentin Talley. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And last but not least, the executive director of Clayton County Community Services Authority, Dr. Rhonda Kindred. Thank you so much for opening your doors to me and being so hospitable.
Oh, absolutely. It's been an absolute wonderful day, as everybody else is saying. We appreciate everybody from the state. We appreciate Ms. Williams coming and everybody who collectively helped us make this day possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, happy Weatherization Day.
Thank you, Dr. Kindred. As you can see, we were having a grand old time. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to take that time to introduce some of the folks that I had with me. Next slide. So I also want to take time to talk a little bit about the weatherization workforce development. And so in moments like this, when funding is delayed and uncertainty tries to steal our focus, workforce development is not nice to have. It is the backbone of weatherization community stability and the engine of recovery in the weatherization network. If we pause on people, everything stops with it. If we invest in people, everything else can move forward. So there's some truth to this. Skills are needed, and when dollars pause or shift, the capacity of a skilled workforce is what keeps services moving. Weatherization energy measures, client support, inspections, internal collaborations, and safe quality installations. Trained people can cross-train, they can troubleshoot, and they can adapt. Untrained teams cannot. So every hour spent upskilling staff, auditors, crew leaders, directors, coordinators, into steady production, safer homes, and real savings for family. Second, talent pipelines are slow to build and fast to lose. We all know how long it could take to grow an energy auditor who can model a building correctly, or a crew leader who can mentor 3 new hires. So when hiring delays creep in, people start looking elsewhere, and we don't want that. So a practical countermeasure is retention-focused development. Micro-credentials, financial incentives, and clear ladders from entry level to lead to supervisor. Show people their next step and equip them to take it. So that's how we keep mission-driven talent from drifting away. Workforce development is our most accountable use of scarce resources. Training creates measurable outputs, like your certifications earned, measures installed correctly the first time, fewer callbacks, safer job sites, and better exam certification scores. It also creates measurable outcomes like local hires, career paths, and opportunities for those who have historically been left out. So when external conditions are changing, as we all know they are, the investments that still deliver are the ones that compound skills and leadership. So what do we do right now in this moment when we're all feeling the pressure? Some things to do is you can protect your training time, put it on the calendar like production, even 2 hours a week of structured hands-on practice, blower door drills, change orders, case studies, Davis-Bacon documentation, refreshers for those in multifamily, intake training that keeps the muscles warm and your mind sharp. And then you can double down on mentorship. Pair each new staff member with a seasoned pro and give them recognition, give them their flowers. Mentorship is retention insurance that pays back in morale, safety, and speed to competency. And track your outcomes efficiently. Count your registrants versus attendees, your pre and post assessments, certification pass rates, and first time right installation rates. Bring those numbers to your state grantees and partner, because data turns pleas into proof. And build your bridges. Line up partnerships with your community colleges, workforce boards, vendors for shared labs. You can share equipment and co-teach models. And so that way, when funding resumes, if it gets to the point where it is stringently delayed, those bridges let us scale in weeks, not months. So your leaders communicate early, often, and specifically. Tell your teams what firm is and what's flexible and where their growth fits in your plan. Celebrate the small wins. Give them their flowers, because one credential, one successful unit completion, one cross-trained person who can cover specific installation measures, that is a success. Momentum is made of inches, not miles. And staff, keep your toolkit ready. If you're new, you can focus on fundamental safety, your diagnostics, documentation, and client communication. If you are experienced, teach, mentor, share. Your expertise is an asset. Write it down, demo it, film it, share it. Partners and vendors, align your support to the skills map. Travel assistance for training, access to test houses, training centers, and instructor time. It all converts directly to quality outcomes in the field, because homes still need safer wiring, they need tighter envelopes, they need efficient systems, and respectful service. Families still need lower bills and healthier air. Work is still there, it still remains. Workforce development is how we stay ready, no matter the delay or what's going on in the moment. Behind every credential is a neighbor who will sleep warmer, breathe easier, and pay a fairer bill. Behind every cross-trained staff member is a crew that goes home proud of the work they do. Behind every mentorship is a career that not just start, it sticks. So if we keep the people at the center, we'll be ready on day one of a rebound. And when folks ask, how did you keep going? We will be able to say, we invested in the one thing that will never go out of season or style, our people. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Amy Jandusa English.
Hello, everyone. So excited to have attendees today joining us to hear about all these wonderful network partners. I had the pleasure of visiting 2 states this week and last week. I went to Indianapolis to see the Indiana Community Action Association Intelligent Weatherization Training Center. We have a couple of pictures from that visit at the end. Chris Willman and her team are doing a wonderful job bringing in new trainees. They told me the story of how they created their own training center many years ago. And they have been national leaders in training from the community action basis. And then yesterday, I had a whirlwind trip to Hannibal, Missouri with the Northeast Community Action Center, the Northeast Community Action, I can't remember what the last C stands for, but NECAC. Carla Potts and her weatherization team, also a network, a leading force in our network. I got to see a actual weatherization project. Got to talk to the homeowners that experienced the benefits. I got to see old windows and new windows, the difference between that. I got to learn about, at both of my trips, first I learned about attic knee walls, then I learned about the difference between, I got to see heat exchangers, a new one and an old one. So it's been quite wonderful, and I hope that I'll get to do some other states in the future. So next slide, please. I'm excited to tell you about our Faces of Weatherization campaign. We are now in our 3rd year. This is one of my favorite projects. We are celebrating the career journeys of weatherization professionals all throughout the network, whether they are new recruits or veterans like Kathy Allen. We like to show their faces and tell the story of how they entered a weatherization career and what it has meant in their life so far. Next slide. Okay, and this year, a brand new campaign that we're hoping to spread throughout the network. We've created 3 local impact awards, the Weatherization Innovation Award, the Community Changemaker Award, and the Personal Achievement Award. So these are sample certificates that local agencies can give to partners and staff in their community to recognize technical innovations within the weatherization program, community partners that have supported weatherization, and then staff or maybe contractors, individuals who have really completed a personal journey that has inspired everybody. Next slide. Okay, and then also new this year, we've expanded the faces of weatherization into voices of weatherization. So these videos can have a lot of different versions. This is a very polished presentation of several videos where staff are telling the story of how they entered weatherization and what it has meant to them. We also encouraged network members to do small informal selfie videos. We would like to, my personal goal is to create a library of all sorts of different videos where anybody who wants to know something about the lived experience of weatherization workers will be able to access you know, the voices of actual frontline staff. Let's take a look at this 3-minute video.
Sound will come, guys.
My name is Nairi. I work for Community Action Partnership in Riverside County in California. I originally started in utility assistance. The best part of the job is helping elderly that have health and safety issues. The greatest challenges that I see in my community for weatherization is elderly right now, because we have a problem with funding with LIHEAP, so we haven't been able to help elderly with their heating and air conditioning issues.
My name is Adriana Bracamontes. My title is a CSA. I work for Community Action Partnership with the County of Riverside. I used to do utility assistance and I got switched over to weatherization. I've been there ever since. The best part of working in the weatherization department is I get to work with different people. The greatest challenges that our community have is that they don't have access to energy efficient appliances, and also they don't have access to energy funding.
Hello, my name is Andrew Martinez. I work for Community Action Partnership. I'm a housing specialist too, from Riverside, California. I've been working for weatherization for 20 years plus. Before Riverside County, I was with Maravilla Foundation. The best part of this job for me is to help customers achieve weatherization and energy savings to live more comfortable. Some of the greatest weatherization challenges that I myself have had is talking with customers and helping them understand and educate them on how to use their energy more wisely, and pretty much take care of the new energy products and appliances that we give them to help them live a more comfortable life.
Hello, my name is Eric, housing specialist too. I'm at Riverside County Community Action Partnership in Riverside, California. I've been working in weatherization for almost 16 years. I got into it after the housing market crash of 2008. The best part of the job for me is helping out our community, the people who qualify for the program.
My name is Jesse. I'm a lead AC mechanic here at Community Action Partnership in Riverside, California. I've been working in weatherization for a year and a half, and I started in air conditioning in 2016. The the best part of the job is helping the elderly. The challenges that I see is the budget. We're not able to help everybody that applies due to the budget cuts at this time.
My name is Alicia. I work with Community Action Partnership of Riverside County in California, and I work as an administrative services assistant. I've been working in weatherization for about a year. The best part of the job for me is being able to help those in need in our community, especially seniors living on a fixed income, who don't have the resources or the funds to be able to make their homes more comfortable. The greatest challenges I see again are with our seniors. They don't have enough funds to be able to have a healthy and safe home. And a lot of the time they also aren't aware of these programs. And I think that our program, the weatherization program, really serves them well. But the biggest challenge is not having the outreach or the education of the weatherization program.
That was fantastic. I think you're up, Aderica.
Well, happy Weatherization Day, everyone. I am happy to be here in Colorado. And I am currently attending a lunch and learn at Pickens Technical College. My host organization is Energy Outreach Colorado. I'm here with Jordan, and we are visiting several of their partners, which is Energy Resource Center, as well as visiting NREL while here. So just want to say happy Weatherization Day again, and I will turn it over to, I believe Grace is next.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Senior Associate of Weatherization, Dissemination, and Engagement here at NCAP. Just started back in July in case I haven't met any of you yet. I'm really lucky to be in Lancaster, not Lancaster, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, for the Community Action Association of Pennsylvania's annual conference. I've gone to go to a couple of different sessions on wellness, collaboration, and innovation within weatherization in the state, and I'm really excited to be able to share everything I learned in the coming weeks through NCAP. And that's it on me. I do have to bounce to return to some sessions, but I'm really grateful everyone took the time this Weatherization Day to come out and hear from NCAP and Maddie too. So I think, is Kendra next? All right. See you guys later.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. I am in Greenfield, Massachusetts right now. I'm in a coffee shop actually. But this morning I was with Community Action Pioneer Valley for their Weatherization Day event that took place at a client's home, a multifamily home that was actually being weatherized while we were there. And they were chosen to host Weatherization Day by the Massachusetts Executive Office of Housing Livable Communities. And the event was attended by about 30 people, including some state representatives. And they also received a proclamation from the governor for Weatherization Day. So it was a really, really great event. And I'm glad I could come all the way out to Massachusetts, because for those of you who don't know, I'm actually based in Houston. So really, really great morning. And now I'll pass it to Mitz.
Thank you, Kendra. Hello, from Kentucky. My name is Mitzi Hubbard, the Energy Partnership Program Administrator. I had the pleasure of spending this past week with KCOC Community Action Partnership, and I enjoyed being a part of their successful on-site demonstration in celebration of Weatherization Day. Also, just to let you know, I would love to hear about your weatherization success stories. If you have a success story you would like to share with us and the network, please send your weatherization success story to mhubbard@communityactionpartnership.com. Also, in closing of the upcoming KCOC video next, I will have the pleasure of introducing Mia Harnos, the Director of Energy Partnerships. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the video. My name is Mitzi Hubbard, and I serve as the Energy Partnerships Program Administrator for the National Community Action Partnership. It's a pleasure to welcome you here today in southeastern Kentucky to celebrate Weatherization Day with KCEOC Community Action Partnership, located in Gray, Kentucky, under the direct leadership of Paul Doe, President, CEO. I would like to take this time to thank Paul for his 51 years of service in community action. And today we share a spotlight on one of the most impactful initiatives, the Weatherization Assistance Program. This program goes far beyond insulation and caulking. It restores dignity. It's about ensuring that families, seniors, and individuals with disabilities can reside in homes that are not only safe, but warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and also affordable year-round. It's about alleviating energy burdens and enhancing the overall quality of life. I want to introduce to you the Housing Development and Rehabilitation Director, Michael Swafford, and Jericho Mason, the Weatherization Evaluator. They will provide insight into the weatherization services provided to Ms. Pauline Gray in Hemier, Kentucky, that we are about to go visit.
KCOC's weatherization program covers 16 counties in eastern Kentucky and the Bowling Green area. We have about 20 employees, from crew leaders to QCIs, the crew members to heat and air technicians, electrical technicians. KCOC was able to weatherize 54 homes in the last contract year in the 16 counties that we serve. We used IIJA, DOE, LIHEAP, and some DSM funds to make those projects possible.
Project or home is different, but the services that we could see are upgraded heating systems, increased attic, floor, wall insulation, your general air sealing measures, and then we have weatherization ready funds, which is upgraded electrical systems, roofs, plumbing, and then your general health and safety measures, which could be mechanical ASHRAE fans, vapor barriers, and even plumbing under that too.
Folks, thank you for joining us today at Ms. Pauline Gray's home in Hemier, Kentucky. We thank her from the bottom of our heart for letting us come in and to evaluate her home and the services that KCOC Community Action Weatherization Program performs. How did you first hear about the Weatherization Program?
Through friends, and I really needed help because my house was so airy, it was unreal. Only took me about 30 days from the time of the application until they started working on my house. Breathing better, no airflow flying through the house, staying comfortable in my home. In the summer it was a lot cooler. Didn't have to put no window air conditioners in.
Wonderful.
And then I've had heat on for a couple of days and I can tell the temperature is warm and don't have to set the thermostat so high.
Wonderful.
And I haven't got to thank all the guys, but I appreciate everything they've done for my home.
And the walls was split, so it's sucking air from your attic. That's why we sealed all this. We wanted to stop that. You don't need to be pulling heat in the summertime from your attic.
Right.
Because in summer you're trying to keep your house cool.
I know I'm not feeling any air pulling. I don't feel any.
That's what we try to stop.
So,
And this is what this is, weatherization ready. It's meant for deferral reasons. So her original service output was a 100 amp service. Well, we had to put in a new heat system and all kinds of stuff. So we had to upgrade to a 200 amp service. So we originally deferred her for electrical issues, come and fixed it with weatherization ready. And then once that was done, now we're ready to weatherize. Yeah, this is a 2-ton gas package unit that we installed because when we come and done our eval, she only had 3 portable gas space heaters trying to heat this whole house, which in turn is another reason why we had to do the electrical upgrade, so that way that load capacity would carry this. But we put this in, we fixed all of her ductwork, we sealed her ductwork, and we just made it so much better for this house.
together we are making homes safer, communities stronger, and futures brighter. Your commitment makes this work possible, and to the families you served, you are truly the heart of the mission. To all the community action agencies in the network, your stories inspire us to keep pushing forward, to spread the word about the positive impact that weatherization services provide. Thank you for your time, your dedication to community action, and for joining us in celebration of Weatherization Day with KCOC Community Action Partnership.
Well done. Well done, Mitzi and KCOC. Wow. Wow. That's fantastic. Thank you, Mitzi, for spending all that time. I'm sure that visit in community filled you back up. Great stuff. So I'm here. I am in Michigan with my friend Maddie. I'm going to introduce her in a minute, but I wanted to share just a little piece of my own personal story. On the next slide are 4 homes. These homes represent my familial homes. Growing up, I think I've shared mom and dad were teenage parents. And so we definitely relied on the love and hospitality of family. Where work was, that's where daddy went. And so in Huntington, Indiana, my great Aunt Judy and my great Uncle Glenn lived in this home that was probably weatherized in the early 2000s. Today, my cousin Erica raises her children in that home. Lower left, Tennessee Ridge, Tennessee. That home was built by my uncle Jerry Rye, and he raised his 2 children, Jerry Lynn and Tammy. And my Aunt Pat still lives there in that home, and her home was weatherized in 2015. The home in the middle top is in Melvindale, Michigan. That is the home that my father grew up in, that my grandparents lived in their entire lives. I spent a lot of time in that home as a child, and that is now where my brother and my sister-in-law live together happily. And the on the right, that is Allen Park, Michigan. That is the home of Jeff and Amy Rye, my parents. They were just evaluated for the weatherization program and accepted. And their home audit is scheduled in mid-November. So if all goes as planned, Amy and Jeff will live out the rest of their years together with dignity and in comfort. And maybe one day one of my 3 boys will live in that home and raise their family. So I just wanted to share that with you because it really does impact generations, the work that you do. I want to thank my colleague, Maddie. Maddie helps to lead weatherization efforts here in the state of Michigan. And so those 2 homes that you saw in Melvindale and Allen Park, Maddie had her hand in, I'm sure, somewhere along the way. So as we go into Maddie's presentation, we're here in Farwell, Michigan. I want to ask you, what is your local community best known for? We know Michigan is cars and Motown, but I will say here in Farwell, the thing that's kind of really popping are the Michigan fall colors. So why don't you put in the chat, what is your local community best known for? And I'm going to turn it over to Maddie.
Thanks, Mia. Hi, everyone. Happy to be here today. My name is Maddie Camilay. I am the Weatherization Assistance Program Manager for the state of Michigan. So I work out of the state office in Lansing. But today you're finding us in Farwell. We are at Mid-Michigan Community Action Agency, where they're having a big Weatherization Day event. So happy Weatherization Day. We will be going to that event right after this webinar. So Mia and I are going to be visiting with the agency and our training center, MyTech, what I'm going to be talking about today, has a great partnership with Mid-Michigan here. So we're going to see some of our integrated work at play, and that's going to be shared with the community for Weatherization Day here. And big shout out to Mid-Michigan Community Action, who does an amazing job with the Weatherization Assistance Program. And today, so I mentioned I'm with the state office, and in Michigan, we have a training center. It is called MyTech, a weatherization training center, and it's a little unique in that it is integrated into the state office. So it's not a standalone organization. It is hand in hand partnership. We are coworkers and colleagues with the state office. So I'm going to give you some background on MyTech. I'm going to talk to you all about MyTech, and then I'm going to talk to you about some of the ways that we've structured the facilities around our large state to make training more accessible. MyTech. So we were established, the training center itself was established in around 2018. And what happened was in 2017, there was a big changeover of staff in the state office, and our executive director, Chris Shano, who is a Wonder Woman, and she is my leader, she knew she needed to dig in and fully understand what the status of weatherization was in Michigan. And what she learned from all of the agencies that she spent lots of time with, meeting and interviewing and having planning meetings, was that the lack of a training center was really difficult in our state. So we realized, we called this the change vision, where we had a lot of conversations and we had a few areas of focus. And one of the big areas of focus was establishing a training center, which was called MyTech. And we can go to the next slide. Part of why we needed MyTech was the quality work plan. So Mia mentioned our partners at the U.S. Department of Energy. Obviously, they are so important, and their policy dictates how we create our standards and expectations around the program. Michigan has been the second largest subgrantee in the country for the Weatherization Assistance Program. We have a lot of weatherization funds, and we have a lot of weatherization work to do. And work quality is really important to us. So the quality work plan set a lot of standards, like the SWS, our training expectations, our certification expectations, and of course the requirement of a quality control inspector. And all of that meant we needed more capacity for training. Next slide. So I summarized this in what I was saying, but essentially we knew we had this big need for training around our state. And if we didn't create that training facility, that meant folks going out of state learning standards that are set for other states, spending time traveling, and higher stakes if folks weren't passing a quality control inspector exam, for example. So we really knew we needed to position our network for success by having a training center. Next slide, please. We worked really hard. We got staff in place, and we started offering our training, our specific training, in July of 2018. So I started in March of 2018. We soon onboarded more staff for MyTech, and we were beginning training in July. We were granted the status of a BPI test center in July of 2019, so that took about a year. And then in July of 2020, we were IREC accredited for comprehensive training. We can go to the next slide, please. All right, and so a lot of people would ask, like, where were we headquartered? And a lot of times when folks are looking to start a training center for weatherization, a big barrier is facilities. We started as a mobile training center. So we didn't have like a brick and mortar headquarters, and our staff would travel throughout the state to work with different host locations, whether that was directly with one subgrantee or regionally, but really working at a lot of community action agencies directly, and sometimes even like in hotel space or conference centers to facilitate training. If you're not familiar with Michigan, we're geographically fairly large. And then another thing that makes us even less centralized are the Great Lakes, which are a huge asset in Michigan, and we love them. But you can drive for 11 or 12 hours from Southwest Michigan up to the top of the Upper Peninsula. And it makes it logistically challenging to get everyone in one place. We can go to the next slide. we knew we needed to listen to the network, but we really needed to focus on the expansion of our capacity to meet all of the true training needs in our state. We needed to focus on where is training needed, how can we really enhance our training delivery, what types of facilities do we need, and where do we need trainers, what curriculum we need, and that's all work that we've been doing and refining since 2018. We can go to the next slide, please. So we ended up getting our first 2 brick and mortar training sites in a unique partnership with 2 of our community action agencies. So you can see on the left, we have a mobile home in Farwell that is right outside of where Mia and I are sitting, and we'll be spending some of the afternoon in this mobile home. And then you can see this beautiful house in Highland Park, Michigan. And these 2 houses are owned by the local community action agencies. So the Farwell Mobile Home is owned by Mid-Michigan Community Action, and the Highland Park House is owned by Wayne Metro Community Action. As a state office, we weren't able to purchase buildings or construct buildings, so we logistically had to figure out, is there any location where we can be more frequently and have people regularly report for training? The community action agencies generously had space and allowed us to rent these training facilities, and we've maintained really strong partnerships with them where we are able to run trainings out of these 2 facilities on a regular basis. These 2 houses give us really unique opportunities to show real life examples of the structure of certain housing types. Obviously, the mobile home in Farwell, we're very central Lower Peninsula right here. There are quite a few mobile homes in the area, and knowing how to weatherize a mobile home is very important to folks doing weatherization up here. And while we're running our trainings, we can actually look at the physical structure of the house, which is a huge asset to our training. And same with the Highland Park House. If you go around Highland Park in that area, if you're not familiar, Highland Park is a city surrounded by the city of Detroit. So it's within the city of Detroit. And a lot of the homes in that area are physically built in a very similar construction. This house has a lot of learning features where there are plexiglass walls, for example, so you can see how dense pack insulation fills it, and that can be emptied, and various types of practice trainings can be repeated in parts of the houses, these 2 houses. So these houses were huge assets and a great part of our initial expansion, where we not only were traveling to local trainings, but we were able to run and facilitate trainings out of these 2 locations, and we continue to do so today. But like I said, Michigan is a really big state, and while they were really great locations, we knew that we needed more. These 2 are not accessible to everyone in the state, and we decided we needed more physical facilities. That brings us to the topic that we were talking about, Mia and our team, and we decided to bring to this presentation today. Like I said earlier, we weren't able to purchase real estate, and we were not able to physically construct buildings because of the restrictions on some of our federal funds and being state office. And what we realized, our community action agencies were great partners to rent certain houses, but a lot of others didn't have the capacity to own a house for that. But there were, in very accessible parts of the state, outlet malls or outlet areas that at one point maybe were more bustling, but there were some unoccupied storefronts, and that was something we could start exploring. So we noted a few kind of targeted areas in more populated areas in the state. Something that's really great about outlet malls is they are physically close to highways, and they're physically accessible. And we targeted these 2 areas. So we have Birch Run, Michigan, which is kind of near Flint or Saginaw, closer to the thumb area of Michigan, and then DeWitt, Michigan, which is really close to Lansing. And both of these were storefronts that were completely vacant. So vacant storefronts that hadn't had folks in them in years. And the facilities were kind of open concept and pretty easy for us to see how we could have a training space and meeting space that could easily run classroom trainings. We can go to the next slide, please. So we were able to set these up in ways where we can operate classes and also have meeting spaces for our team and or the network across the state. You can see we've got TV screens and kind of small classroom area. We have conference areas. We have held statewide meetings in Birch Run where we have managers from across the state meet there. And this has given us some really great options in terms of day-to-day trainings. And in adding DeWitt and Birch Run to our facilities, we now have 4 locations where we can regularly be training our network. So we can go to the next slide, please. You can see DeWitt is set up similarly, a classroom area. DeWitt has a large area in the back for props and equipment as well, and Birch Run has a smaller area, but they both house a lot of our equipment. Can go to the next slide. We've had a huge rise in demand in the energy efficiency professional space in Michigan. So not only have these facilities really helped us increase capacity for weatherization assistance program training, but we have seen this demand growing in other programs as well. We're able to offer fee-for-service training outside of the weatherization assistance program, and we know that as kind of like the leading program in the industry in terms of standards and certifications, a lot of other programs emulate or are interested in the same certifications and training that we offer. So this has, we've noticed this demand grow, especially in the utility space and in other federal programs taking off. Next slide. We are IREC accredited, I mentioned, since July of 2020. We also renewed 5 years later. So just recently this summer we renewed. That means we can offer comprehensive and specific training for the Michigan Weatherization Assistance Program, and no other training needs to be taken by the folks working in our program. Next slide, please. We have 5 different career pathways that we offer, and each of them have corresponding trainings associated with them. These are positions that work in the Weatherization Assistance Program. And the building analyst, we allow to be an energy auditor certification within our state. And we've also found that a lot of other programs require this for audit standards. So all of these are offered, and classes within these have comprehensive curriculum aligned to these career paths. Next slide, please. We are a BPI test center, like I mentioned, and we are able to proctor both online and field tests for these 3 certifications, which also makes it possible for all of not only the trainings, but certifications to be obtained in state. We can do the next slide, please. We've been continuously refining our curriculum and developing it further. We are very focused on energy efficiency, what is needed for people to connect the dots, workforce development, and are continuously improving our curriculum. Next slide. We offer virtual training, in-person training at the locations I mentioned, and we do on-site technical assistance on demand for anyone working in our program. So we will go directly to agencies or also to houses in the field to talk about certain approaches for weatherization. Next slide. We are always, like I said, looking to continuously improve our curriculum. We take feedback from our evaluations. We've worked with curriculum developers, consultant curriculum developers, and focus supplemental training on specific needs. We do training based on monitoring reports, and do particular technical assistance as needed from the network. So we're really trying to just meet all the folks in our network where they are and offer training in as many ways as we can. The next slide, please. We're also developing and fleshing out further weatherization manager curriculum, which will have quite a few different trainings, but we've noticed a big need in the network for this, and we're excited to be fleshing this out. Next slide. I think that we mentioned this, but our evaluations have really shown us that hands-on curriculum is really important. So I mentioned that the house facilities have ways for us to do hands-on training, and one thing that wasn't necessarily possible was to do hands-on training in the outlet mall facilities. So we also developed props so that hands-on training could be accessible there. We can go to the next slide. These are some of the previews of our props. We have a foundation and wall prop that can be insulated, and the insulation can be taken out so folks can see how it would look or feel to insulate a foundation wall in a house while they're in the outlet mall. And we can go to the next one. Here's a knee wall or an outer ceiling joist. So again, we have a lot of knee wall attics in Michigan, and knowing how to insulate these is a key part of our weatherization process. So practice can be done on these props while they're in the outlets. And then the next one is a wall prop. So again, a wall cavity doing dense pack wall insulation, and you're able to see the dense pack wall insulation on the other side so that folks can practice doing dense pack in our classes. Next slide, please. These are just some statistics to give you an idea of our capacity. We trained over 1,000 students in 24 and did over 200 classes in various formats, whether it was online, in person. We did 117 students, technical assistance too. So that's like one-off training requests. And you can see our proctoring and certifications issued. So our capacity is great, and it's always growing. And yeah, this is my tech by the numbers. I think that is our last slide. There we go.
There we go.
That's it.
Thank you, Maddie. Well done. Michigan has it going on. We always say that. So this kind of concludes our formal presentation. These are photos from across the network that have been sent in. The one dead center, we've got some weatherization folks being covered on the news, on the local news. So people are talking about us. Things are happening in the network. So we just want you all to continue doing the work, making the measures, connecting to community, and we are here for you. Next slide. NCAP is here. You guys need us. Let us know. Our last question of the day. If you had to select one word from the weatherization mission, which one best describes you and how you approach your work? Let's go to the next slide. So pick one of these words here in the mission and throw it in the chat. If you have any questions and you want to put those in the chat as well, let us know. I would say if I had to choose a word that best describes how I approach my work at the weatherization program, I would say it would be vulnerable. This program really does fortify families who might otherwise fall between the cracks. And so really, really think that that is an important word for me. Next slide. Get out your phones. Actually, Kendra, go on to the next one. Get out your phones. Make sure you're subscribing to the newsletter. Make sure you're following NCAP on social media, because we have a lot of stuff that comes out each and every day, really, at the Community Action Partnership social media, Facebook, and certainly LinkedIn. Next. And then I just want to thank you. I will return your email within the day that you email me. So if there's anything you guys need, you're looking for resources, you need a specific trainer, you have some questions on how to respond to a question in your community, if you're getting questions from media about what is happening with the federal government, we are here to help you navigate those things. So there's my email address. We also have a department email address, and then there's the website. So we are at 3:01. Want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done, NCAP Energy team. Thank you, Maddie. And happy Weatherization Day. We'll see you guys.
Bye.